What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Witty Sports Talk. Here for another video, this time about some golf. The Masters happening this weekend. Had to get a video in previewing the tournament. It's really Wednesday, the day beforehand, so it's going to be a nice, quick, and easy roundup and preview of the greatest golf tournament that happens every single year. Some big names in this tournament for sure, but the smallest total size of players in the tournament, around 100 players, definitely the smallest group of players for any tournament that happens on the PGA Tour or any of the major championships every season. This time we got Jon Rahm as the returning champion on the LIV Tour now, so that's one big storyline that we're definitely going to get into in this video. But as far as the Masters comes, plenty of storylines from some great first-timers. Tiger's back. Roy's looking to complete the career Grand Slam. And there's a lot of storylines to look forward to over these next 4 days. Let's get into it. So we're going to jump in with some first-timers, some rookies on the tour and or players playing in the Masters for the first time. Some big names, Ludvig Åberg, the first one I'm going to talk about, 8th at the Players, 14th at the Valero Open. Has plenty of talent, the kid from Texas Tech, currently ranked 9th in the world. Anytime you hear him talking on Golf Channel or NBC, they say he has the potential to be the number one player in the world. We're gonna see if he can fulfill that in the big tournaments in these coming years, and the Masters this time is his first test in Augusta. We'll see how well he does. I think he could go low. I don't know if he'll be the best first-timer, which I think will be Wyndham Clark coming up next, who's already a major champion, won the U.S. Open, number 4 in the world rankings, came second at the Players after that heartbreak that he had on the 18th to push it to the playoff against Scottie Scheffler, rimmed out. I was watching it, and it was just so close for him at the Players. He played so well all week long and has played well throughout this season, so I think he has the best chance for a newcomer, a rookie in Augusta, to do the best overall as far as these players taking on the course for the first time. The next one, Nick Dunlap, who won the American Express Open as an amateur, came from Alabama, decided to go pro. He's had some inconsistent results since then, missed a few cuts, but he's made a few cuts as well, not finishing the top 10 or anything, but at least he's making his name on the PGA Tour. We'll see how he does at Augusta for the first time. Still extremely young and vastly inexperienced, but sometimes, like Will Zalatoris when he came second or third his first time at Augusta, they just don't give the course that respect that maybe some of the other players do, so they just go out there and swing the club around, and it happens to work out really well. We'll see if Nick Dunlap can do that this year as well. Peter Malnati, he won the Valspar Championship, and Grayson Murray won the Sony Open. That gets them into the tournament. We'll see how well they do. Not the biggest names compared to those other 3 guys, as well as Jake Knapp, who won the Mexico Open. These guys aren't the biggest names, but just like anything in golf, it can be a surprise weekend for them. We'll see how it goes. Knapp won Mexico and then came 4th at the Cognizant. Not as good as of late, has missed a couple cuts, including in Houston last weekend. We'll see how he bounces back in Augusta this week. But I think Wyndham Clark, as far as the first-timers, does the best, has that championship experience, winning the U.S. Open, and has played well recently compared to some of these other guys where they're kind of up and down in the rankings and as far as tournament finishes. Jumping over to some players under pressure. Of course, it has to start with Rory McIlroy in the back there. This is hole 12. A lot of stuff can happen on hole 12, so that's why I put it as the background for this graphic. Players fall to the pressure sometimes at hole 12. We've seen before the balls go in the water on Sunday, and it's just a really tough hole for some of these guys. So I put it here because I thought it fit right. Huge Rory McIlroy fan, but he's under pressure every single year at Augusta. All he needs to do is win it to complete the career Grand Slam. It's his 16th Masters appearance, and he's finished second in 2022, but last year he missed the cut, so we'll see if it's a bounce-back year for Rory. Like I said, just needs to complete the career Grand Slam by getting the green jacket every single year he comes in here. He's the big name that hasn't won it yet. Plenty of other guys, including Jordan Spieth, has won it in years past. Jordan, one of the most talented players on tour, in my opinion. So inconsistent, though, and I'm talking from hole to hole. He can have a hole-in-one like he did last weekend. Next hole, have a double bogey. I mean, you never know what you're going to get with the guy. One time last weekend, he had, I don't know if y'all would have seen it, but he had a shot that went way wide, and then he played it even more wide to bounce it like off a building. It was ridiculous. I'll try and find a little photo of what I'm talking about and putting up on screen now. But with Spieth, you never know what you're going to get from him. He's under pressure just to get back in that winner's circle. He hasn't won a tournament in a little while, but the talent is there. Everyone loves him on tour. Kind of like him and Justin Thomas, they're best friends, plenty of talent, but just the game is inconsistent. But Spieth to get back in the winning circle and to put another green jacket on is something I think that applies pressure to his game this weekend. And of course, anytime the Masters happen, anytime any of the majors happen nowadays in golf, the LIV players are under pressure just to show that they can still compete against the PGA Tour guys. It's, of course, a huge back and forth. Jon Rahm, the defending champion, he's now on LIV. I still think he can perform well. We saw Phil Mickelson do extremely well last year, come in second place. And it's just one of those things where you know the guys go at it with each other. You know it's kind of awkward. In that championship Masters dinner that they had a couple nights ago with Jon Rahm hosting, Phil Mickelson's there, Tiger Woods there. Some of those guys, Dustin Johnson is there, now on LIV Tour. So it's just that back and forth between LIV and the PGA players, which I think applies pressure to also the PGA Tour players to perform well because they say that it's the best tour, but also the LIV guys just to prove that they haven't lost any game since leaving the tour as well. Now for my players to watch. I have 3 of them. 2 of them are pretty obvious. Wyndham Clark, he's playing some great golf right now. Can he continue at the Masters? Will he be able to bring home another major title after that U.S. Open win? I think he has the best chance, as I said earlier. Some of the first-timers, really good game, really consistent, almost won the Players. He just doesn't seem to get fazed by the big moment. He can handle pressure well, doesn't affect his game that much, and he has the proven win on his record that allows me to have confidence in his game in Augusta for the first time. Next, Cameron Young. Can he win the big one? He's kind of the outlier for me. Came second at the Valspar, 4th at the Cognizant. I think he's a little under the radar. Currently 14th in the rankings. He has plenty of game. He's done well in previous tournaments in years past and just has that it about him that I think he will eventually win a major championship. Could show out well, just depends on how well he gets going and how much this weather plays into everybody's game. But someone that needs to get the ball rolling early, Cameron Young is. And if the weather stops his momentum, that could be trouble. But I think if he gets it going, he can really make a charge Sunday and prove some people wrong that may be doubting him recently, the fact that he hasn't won a big one yet. And of course, we have Tiger Woods. It really goes without saying. I mean, it's Tiger Woods. He's made the cut in Augusta 23 consecutive times. If he gets it this weekend, he's going to have the all-time record, 24 consecutive cuts at the Masters, a 5-time champion. But it's just fun to see him play now. He withdrew from the Genesis earlier this year, only played in like the Hero Open, which is like a 20-player tournament, really just like a fun tournament to play in. Hasn't played much golf recently at all. We'll see how well his whole body handles. He has the late, early tee time, taking off late 1 p.m.-ish, 2 p.m.-ish tomorrow, and then has in the 8, 9 a.m. range on Friday. Don't know if that's the best thing for his body, his hip, his back, his ankle. But if he gets it going, hopefully he can make the cut. I don't think anyone is obviously expecting him to win the tournament, but he's Tiger Woods. Anything can happen. And as long as we see him walking down 18 on Sunday, I think it'll be a success for him at the Masters. Speaking of success, that is winning the tournament. And who I think wins the tournament? Scottie Scheffler, the number 1 player in the world, the 2022 Masters champion. Playing really well lately. The only if and but about his game is his putter, but he changed his putter a few weeks ago. Won the Players, won the Arnold Palmer earlier this year, came second in Houston, and he's just so far the betting favorite and just so complete of a player, the best player in the world right now by far. I just find it hard for anyone to beat him this weekend. He took a year off last year as far as winning the tournament, still had a really good performance. This year, I think he gets his second green jacket, proves he's the number 1 player in the world, and even if he's not in the lead on Sunday, just the pressure he applies to those guys in the lead, it's hard for them not to feel Scottie moving up the leaderboard. I mean, it's like Tiger in a sense, where once you saw Tiger's roar on a Sunday back 9, the guys at the lead started to tremble. Scottie, obviously, no one's Tiger, but when you're so much better than the competition, the other players even know it themselves, it's tough to not feel that pressure and to not start shaking a little bit when Scheffler makes his move on the back 9. And that's why I think Scheffler gets his second green jacket and wins the Masters in 2024. Thanks for watching. hopefully it's some good golf this weekend and we have some tight finishes in Augusta.